Hello, everyone. I hope everyone is safe and sound. I want to thank everyone for joining today's webinar. My name is Vivek. I'm the Director of Products at Unbxd. I'm here to share my thoughts on why site search is important for your e-commerce now more than ever. A quick note, throughout the webinar, if you have any questions, please uh, note them down in the chat box below. Before I proceed, I'd like to ask if you are aware of what Unbox does. Please take time to make a selection. It should appear on your screen right now. Thanks for taking the time to share. For the sake of the audience that don't know about Unboxed, let me quickly give you a brief. Unboxed is not just a leading AI-based site search platform, but we are a complete solution that enables an e-commerce business to succeed. In the last 8 years, we have built site search that helps in product discovery, specifically targeted at customers who know what they're looking to buy. Now, these are typically users with very high intent and knowledge. The second category of shoppers are those who like to do window shopping, but online. So browse as an offering was something that helps such shoppers discover and explore products using structured navigation via category links, custom landing pages, prompted banners, etc. But what really makes buying an interesting journey is the quality of recommendations you can show, for which we also have a recommendation platform where you can control what widgets to show and how to show them. You can build experiences, you can run A/B tests, see what's working, and tune the journey accordingly. The last and an important piece of the site, or the search efficiency rather, is the quality of catalog. And in all our interactions with so many customers, we haven't come across a customer who does not have an issue with catalog. Now, we took this upon ourselves to solve this as a problem, and we have a product information management system right now that helps companies build a golden record and manage the entire enrichment and distribution of the products onto several marketplaces. And before I move on, I just want to emphasize the fact that automation and AI has always been the key drivers in our platform growth story. We are able to build such a robust technology on the strong data foundation. We have insights that we've accumulated from over 500 million user behaviors belonging to various e-commerce verticals. And even today, we parse, learn, and boost our native algorithms that track roughly about 300 million events on an every single given day. And all these translates into helping our customers deliver a really world-class shopping experience that eventually results in better revenue uplifts and greater conversions. So now that you know who we are and what we do, I'll quickly jump on to what we are going to talk about in this webinar. I will attempt to explain why there is a need for a site search solution, especially considering the global situation we have found ourselves in. As an industry, we will look at how businesses today have adapted to the COVID-19 pandemic and how they're keeping themselves afloat, and some also thriving beyond expectations. I'll also explain how Unbox is helping some brands and retailers across the globe who have benefited from using Unbox site search platform. Talking about the challenges of e-commerce stores, in the last 8 years, we have seen the pace of change across e-commerce being totally unrelenting. Buyers today have a broader choices, which means once we have a shopper land on our site, it's imperative for us to weave an experience that is personalized and contextually relevant. The big daddy of e-commerce today, which is Amazon, has a conversion rate of 13%. What that means is that out of every 100 visitors who search on Amazon, 13 are buying some or the other product. And the rate of conversion on other retail e-commerce sites for the same product at the same price is at best 3%. Now, why is that? And amongst many reasons, customers just don't get the right product easily. Buyers get null searches and end up assuming you don't have the product, or worst, get completely irrelevant results. Now, as an e-commerce store, you have to bear the brunt of inadequate search functionality on the stores, right? Now, to give you a perspective of why search has grown to be an important tool for online store, here are some of the numbers that we see on the screen, right? So the tolerance level of a shopper today is as low as just 3 seconds. Now, in other words, we are competing with an attention span that's on par with a squirrel. Imagine that, right? Everyone loves getting personalized treatment, and that shows in our data too. 80% of our shoppers are more likely to buy from companies that offer personalized experience and remembers the shopper's preferences and choice when they return again. Uh, a shopper today has the freedom to buy from any device or channel that they want. And as a brand, unless you are able to weave an experience that isn't connected and linked, you will never be able to retain and make a loyal customer out of your prospective shoppers, right? So, and as a retailer, uh, e-commerce needs to be at the center of your strategy. And I say this because it's a channel that is driving substantial growth relative to the share of sales today, right? The digitally engaged consumer is shopping differently across different channels as a result of e-commerce. And this behavior is typically led to typing in free text in your search bar, right? No matter where. And frankly, all the search bars now have to work as well as Google search does. If not, at least that's the expectation, right? But in the e-commerce world, we are far away from that being a reality. And I say this because we have analyzed how customers and consumers search on e-commerce portal, and we have seen that a little over 65% of the sites today require the shoppers to type exact query of the product that they're looking to find and search for. And even a single misspelled word results in a drop off in accuracy by over 30%. And this is important because imagine using a mobile phone, right? How often do we type incorrect spelling? And when that happens on your site, you're losing an opportunity for sale, which means that essentially 60% of the times on every event, you're losing an opportunity. And looking at these numbers on the screens, I feel if you really want to win and retain a shopper on your website, site search as an experience is no longer a good to have, but rather a must have solution for you to really win and grow. Now, in order to find out amidst the prevalent scenario, we try to deep dive into how shoppers make a choice and how e-commerce today has been shaping up. We recently published a report on the state of e-commerce during the COVID-19, which reinforced our beliefs and understanding that the search plays a pivotal role in ensuring that you are not losing on business or money that's laid on the table, and how you can be ready for the future. On that note, let's just take some look at the standouts from that report. If you look at the graphs here, you can directly see that there has been a significant drop in the number of shoppers who casually browse. Searches were made with a very high intent and likelihood of purchase. Casual shoppers were number for casual shoppers were dropped. Except for fashion and apparels, every other sector saw a surge in traffic. Searches and transactions where we've seen an increase in engagement on verticals like groceries, fitness equipment, online medicines, home furnishing, and many more. The world, as we see, is coming to terms with the changes and rapidly adapting its way to conducting commerce. Amazon has reported to be earning profits of roughly about $4 billion during the period of April to June from this entire online commerce unit, all of which has been vowed to put back, to fighting COVID. So that's a good silver lining for us there. Brick and mortar retail is experiencing its own iteration of, I feel, the Kodak moment, which is essentially shifting the balance between high margin in-store baskets to low margin online baskets. And this shift requires a lot of courage, conviction, and most importantly, the right insight. And frankly, for those willing to take a calculated risk, the rewards are there for the taking. In the coming years, as the share of growth will continue to skew towards online channel, making it the default mode for commerce. All in all, if your e-commerce, for your e-commerce to stay relevant, stay ahead of the competition, and more importantly, cater to the rapidly changing businesses as well as customer needs, search is more important than ever it was. So the question we are asking today is your online store built to cater to the rapidly changing business demands and technology landscape? If your answer is yes, that's great. If your answer is no, don't worry, we've got your back. Let's look at what role search today plays in the current scheme of things, right? Now, what you see here on the screen are very useful capability index that I have listed here for you to evaluate. And you may ask what to evaluate. Evaluate your readiness of being online and being ready for selling, right? Let's talk about the first item, which is search relevance. Often the search bar, is the first element used on your website. A strong search engine shows credibility and reliability. On the other hand, a weak search engine exudes carelessness and makes your visitor feel really frustrated. And in a new research, for some that ran on some sites, which receives complete mismatched results, they probably won't be coming back to you. As an example, for e-commerce website owners, an average of over 96% of your visitors will leave your website without making a purchase if they get incorrect results. So make sure you have good relevance set up on your portal. Visual merchandising. When shopping in a brick and mortar store, consumers get a chance to experience a product before making a purchase decision, right? They can physically touch it, pick it up, and try it on. Now, the lack of such physical interaction is a barrier you need to overcome through cohesive mix of media on your e-commerce portal. Having strong dynamic product visuals are essential for your e-commerce business. Optimize the experience by testing which visuals resonate most and in which order. You can also try and personalize your product details page, order suggestion images, as the shopper is trying to type in a query in your search bar. Highlight colors according to each individual's affinity. This will help you create a strong mental connection with your product. Talking about synonyms and alternate terms, using synonyms for common queries not only just speeds up the product exploration by presenting a relevant result, but for example, the result for T-shirt versus TEE shirt should not be different, right? Regardless of how the information may have been written in your product description. Optimizations that are as simple as these are largely a missed opportunity within the industry, and should always be taken as one of the first things you should consider as a part of your overall search UX improvement project. Speaking about error and order corrections or misspelling, we all know exact searches are typically the easiest to support technically, and most of the sites fare reasonably well in that department. While this may at first seem like an easy case of keyword matching against the product attributes, the search engine must be a little smarter than that. And there are a few conditions to take into account, right? Refinements that will take the exact search query implementation from acceptable to great as a level, right? So for instance, good handling of phonetic misspellings is crucial, since the user may only have heard about the product title, via spoken means, and does not really know how to spell it. Furthermore, some products also have alternate titles. This is particularly true and important for global e-commerce sites where product naming has to be localized. Talking about mobile optimization, in many regions across the world, mobile commerce has surpassed desktop commerce traffic. We all know that, right? While 8 in 10 Americans are online shoppers, half of them are using mobile device for shopping. And hence offering the same level of search efficiency and experience on any type of device, be it mobile or a tablet, is of paramount importance, right? Last but not the least, how fast is your search? Does it take long enough for you to type a query, and then switch to maybe Instagram, make a post, and come back to find results? If that's the case, then you need to have that fixed immediately. One sec. Now, we coexist in a digital world where we can automate and let AI take control of major heavy lifting. But the ability to add wisdom to the process will always come from us, right? Humans. And we at Unbox understand that, which is why we have a fully functional merchandising command center. Now, ask yourself if you have these enablers in your current system, because if you don't, then you need these to ensure that you stay in control of the user experience that you want to build for that shopper, who's looking forward to buy from your website. Now, and once you have the basic search and merchandising capabilities on your online store, the next thing that you need to evaluate is how much of manual effort is required for you to set up the platform. How much of the recommendation and personalizations can be automated? And most importantly, how intelligent your search really is. Many of you may be using a vanilla Solr or Elasticsearch, but let me tell you, the basic turnkey version of the search platforms is not tuned for performance. And performance is driven from all the things that we saw in the previous slides and the ones listed here as well. Let's talk about the AI and the ML-based algorithms, right? Now, search results can be a double-edged sword. If the recommendations are completely unrelated, the user will become frustrated and your website will lose credibility. Now, the strength of your search engine depends on how closely the system can predict what users are looking for. And to improve search relevance, companies utilize large data sets created by thousands of examples of correct input and output for a given task, right? And let me tell you this, due to all these complex semantics that go into natural language processing, there isn't an AI program out there yet that can 100% accurately tag, the data and give you relevant results. Now, this is especially true when your project has unique needs or requires some custom implementation. So find a partner or a platform who can help you build this much faster. Dynamic category pages. Now, categories help you organize your content in a way that make it easy for your end users to, buy and look for things that they really want to. Now, all the category pages are widely used. It's most effective when you can surface right pages looking at the buyer's past interactions on your website, right? The ability for you to proactively surface a category page based on previous behaviors, search queries, the customer's view, clicks, buying pattern will help you build an experience and go a long way in doing that. Multilingual search experience, to understand the shopper's query in the native language. This is key because you will not be able to help your shoppers, and the website will have to adapt to do the job for you, right? So given you will not be there to assist the buyer. So explore the possibility of adding a multilingual support to your website, particularly if you are a global brand who has a presence in different geographies. So if your search solution has all of the above, I think you're on the right path. You're in good hands. And if not, then maybe you really have to look at a solution and alternative that can help you get here. How does search help, right? Successful e-commerce businesses today require a lot of intelligent optimization, and it all starts with your e-commerce portal, right? With the right platform and a partner in your journey, you can shorten the path to success and the path to purchase, increase the overall on-site conversion, resulting in higher sales, and have an opportunity for you to convert your casual shoppers into repeat buyers. Now, let's take an example of customers who have benefited from using Unboxed search solution. A top provider of health supplies was using the basic Solar search solution, which meant a lot of manual effort was put in setting up the search functionalities on the platform. And the end result was not that impressive. So, which is when they evaluated Unboxed. And post the implementation of Unboxed, we were able to help them, and we were able to see a 23% increase in revenues driven by relevant searches, 15% increase in their overall search conversions, and 31% increase in the average revenue per search session. Likewise, one of the premier Autopart supplier companies also saw similar uplifts. And let me tell you, being able to solve for auto parts as a vertical is an extremely hard problem to solve. But we were able to successfully do this to a tune where we were able to give them a 20% increase in search conversion rates, 23% increase in the average revenue per session as well. Now, the challenge for them was basically the auto suggest functionality, that could not cater to shoppers' demand of looking for parts for a specific make and model, of an automobile. But Unboxed AI based search, with the Unboxed AI search, we were able to fix that challenge and see the improvements in the conversions. Continuing in the topic of uplifts and conversions, we have helped over 1,200 sites increase their conversion ratios by over 20%, resulting in a total of around $25 billion in cumulative uplifted revenue. Now, there are solutions out there who focus on specific verticals and try to win in those. But what sets Unboxed apart is the ability for us to replicate the success seen in one vertical to several other verticals. We have customers ranging from several other verticals, be it electronics, pharma, lifestyle, home improvement, and we've been successful in helping them drive uplifts to companies of all different revenue sizes. On that note, if you're a brand or a retailer looking for help in finding the right search solution for your e-commerce portal, you can do the following. You can get your site audited. Get your site audit done to know the health of your current site search solutions. By the way, we can also help you do this if you're interested. All you have to do is just drop in a mail, and we can tell you how to go about doing this. invest time in identifying the gaps and the revenue impact that these gaps are currently having, right? Evaluate the options that are available in the market. I would suggest use the barometer of how mature the AI models are for the platform of your choice. Complete, just look at the complete scope of the merchandising capabilities that come out of the box. Not all products have a good merchandising capabilities. The other thing to remember is that the time it takes to implement is very critical, right? As business is evolving, take for example the COVID situation, right? What business was in January was not the same in the month of March. So it's important for us to see that the platform that we integrate with gets implemented very soon and very easily. And finally, a lot of these platforms come with complex workflows and interfaces. So see if you can find a product that's easy for you to use. Moving on, make a choice and work on the timelines, right? And lastly, I would say ask for a POC or a free trial so that you can get started with the product, go through the onboarding, measure the results that you're coming through with, and see if the platform of your choice is actually the right one or not. With that, I'll just conclude, and I hope you now understand why search is more important than ever for your e-commerce business. And I hope you like the webinar. The recording of the same will be shared with you on your email IDs, along with the answers to the question that you have asked. I really appreciate you taking time and dropping in and listening to me. On that note, thank you and have a wonderful day.